glad you could find time to join me today. This is The Point, and I am Miriam Ogutu. He is well-traveled, very passionate and gifted comedian as well as puppeteer. And he calls himself the international thing doer, Mr. Darren Collins.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
It's my pleasure.
So you're international thing doer.
Sure.
What is that?
I'm just a guy who goes around and does stuff.
Like what?
Yeah, I've done all kinds of things. I began by doing stand-up comedy and puppetry, juggling, and magic, and then I found myself doing humanitarian work as well, and of course that brought me to different countries, but usually for the purpose of using comedy and entertainment as a way to educate. So I went to a lot of countries, and then I would volunteer to do different things, whether it was house building or working in a refugee camp or whatever. So I thought, okay, international thing doer.
Okay. How would you describe Darren in a few words?
Curious and driven to serve other people. Just I'm as a member of Rotary International, our motto is service above self. So you find good ways. I find good ways to use my talents to help other people.
Mm-hmm. So by curious, what do you mean?
Curious, I think that's what I admire most in other people, and I aspire to be someone who's constantly inquisitive, wants to learn more, and then acts on that.
Okay. So you were in Kenya, and of course you embarked in a training the puppeteers in Kenya. How has that experience been for you?
It's been really nice. It started off a little rocky. We had a hard time finding people to come to the training workshops. Then 2 weekends ago we held one at ADMI right here in the CBD of Nairobi, and we had 46 people who were interested in learning to use puppets for the purpose of educating their communities. And so it's been a great experience lately.
And talking about educating communities, I know you use your puppeteering skills and also some of the things you do through puppetry to try to create awareness and prevention around HIV and AIDS. How is that?
It's been remarkable because I think one of the biggest problems any human has in terms of communicating about sexually transmitted disease is people don't really want to talk about sex or sexually transmitted disease. Yeah. It's not something, even right now, it's like, I kind of wish I wasn't saying those words to you and you wish you weren't really hearing them. You know, it's weird. But if you can make it entertaining and fun and engaging with a puppet show that includes magic and games and stuff, when those elements are incorporated, suddenly the barriers drop down, people are attentive, and they find themselves listening to information and raw facts that they might otherwise not ever had an opportunity to hear or seek out to hear. So edutainment, mixing the entertainment with the education, has been very successful here in Kenya.
So what was your first experience with puppeteering that drew you to want to be part of it?
You know, I was a kid, I was 12 years old. My big brother was 16 years older than me, which means I'd spent no time living in the house with him, and he sent this giant box. It was huge. I mean, I guess I was a kid, so it was like this big, you know, and it was filled with puppets and Muppet paraphernalia, Muppet memorabilia. And I was immediately like, wow, look at all this cool stuff. And so I started playing with it, and then I sort of became obsessed with puppets because my brother planted that seed in my head. And a year later, a member of our church was starting a puppetry theatrical group, and I joined at age 13. And I just caught the bug.
So why puppeting? Why did you choose to use this as a means to communicate? Because you just don't do puppetry for the sake of it.
Well, I mean, some people do. Some people just liked, you know, some people like animation, some people like acting. I liked puppetry. But what drew me to it was its ability to communicate. It's a little bit different than other kinds of art forms in that it's a proxy, it's human-like, but it's not really human, and so we sort of give it extra permission to say stuff. Like you see the XYZ show. A lot of the things they say on that show, like guys would hesitate to write an editorial to the newspaper and say those same things, but when it's spoken through a puppet, everyone's like, oh, that's funny, that's great. And so that ability to communicate things otherwise not communicated is probably what continues to draw me to puppetry.
Okay, and in regards to, just to take you back a bit, in regards to HIV and AIDS awareness that you do through puppetry, how effective has this been?
Well, measuring efficacy of a Hearts and Minds campaign where you're teaching people things is measured in probably decades to find out how well it's going to work, but if you measure it in terms of popularity or its attractiveness, it's off the charts in Kenya. You know, a lot of other cultures around the world have a long history of puppetry, Not so much in East Africa. The Giriama people have some secret tribal puppetry that they do. There's very few even photographs of them. So because it's so rare, I find that Kenyans are especially attracted to puppets. Okay. And so when we do these shows, like we did over 120 different schools in Kajiado County, and the administrators and the teachers, they're so attracted to it. Even after the show, they're like, hey, can you come to this school? Or will you come to our church? Can I invite my colleagues? Yeah. Their excitement is so much higher. And so in terms of that, I think it's a huge success. Okay. You know, we're talking about really serious stuff and people like it. Okay. You know, that's good.
And talking about huge success, he came and you formed a puppeteering group in Kenya?
I found puppeteering groups. I mean, there are a couple here, the Crystal Puppet Theater, the Kenya Institute of Puppetry Theater, the new Robbie Puppeteers. I met up with them and we sort of grew together back in 2012. And
of course, Darren came with some members of this puppeteering club, and I think they would like to perform something for us.
Yeah, some of the guys are here. Project Hand Up is the name of the charity and the operation we do through Rotary, and 3 of the puppeteers are here. We also do programs about gender equality, teaching little boys how to treat little girls. And so if you don't mind, we could actually perform some of that right now.
Of course.
Yeah.
Nikon and dizzy. Well.
Hey!
Ah!
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 How long are we going to keep doing this?
Just a few more. I'll have to watch it. Ah!
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 And we are done. Hey, Bali, you startled me.
Ati nimekushtua. Wewe ndo umenishtua. Karibu ni die.
You shouldn't sneak up on others like that. Sio poa.
Well, I wasn't trying to sneak up on you. Ni vile tu ulikuwa unarukaruka kila mahali alafu unipi attention.
Wrong. I wasn't jumping. I was skipping.
Oh, skipping. Like skip to Malu.
Hmm?
And I thought it was jumping.
I don't care what you think, Bali.
Well, you should care.
Why should I care?
Okay, ndakwambia. But first, lazima unipe banana yako.
My banana? Why should I give you my banana?
Juu mi ni boy na wewe ni dem, and obviously you must do as I tell you.
Ati lazima?
Of course, ni lazima na kila mtu anajua hivyo. Si ndio? See? Everyone agrees with me. Maboy ni wa maana kuliko madem, because my boys are males and girls are only females. Halafu boys will grow into men, and we all know men are more important than females. It's that simple.
You think boys are more important than girls?
Yeah, hiyo ni fact. Ukitaka, uliza hadi wahenga.
A fact?
Well, pretty sure I read it somewhere in a book. Ilikuanga kitambo sana kwa auntie yangu, hata sikumbuki ilikuwa ngapi. Ilichomeka kitabu ikaibwa. But now give me that banana.
No.
No? No ni nini? Unajaribu kuninyima, si ndio?
Ndio na kunyima. Sikupi. You won't have it and you'll never get it.
Okay, Yuna. Pole kama nimekukosea. By the way, wewe ni msuputu sana.
Okay, hold there.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
And the message there is quite resounding, I can say.
Well, yeah, right now he's just setting up the boys are so much better than girls.
So what is that about?
Well, I think what happened, the long story is that as we did a lot of research about HIV and AIDS and sexually transmitted disease, a lot of it has to do with the way men treat women. And I think since we're talking to little kids, we're not going to talk about sex. It wouldn't be appropriate for early primary to be talking about sex, but we can set up little boys and little girls with the strong morals on how to treat each other in the future. So when they're reaching age 13 or reaching age 14, the girls learn that they have permission to say no, and boys learn that they have to respect the right of the woman to say no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, we'll take a short break. Don't go too far. We'll be right back. Welcome back. In case you just joined us, my guest today is Darren Collins. He's a very gifted comedian and puppeteer, travels around the world to share his love and passion for puppet and comedy. So let's talk about the comedy part.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you do? What's your content when you perform your comedy?
The concept. Okay. Well, it's not serious, obviously, for one thing, but it's also I don't know how Kenyan English will take this, but it's just stupidity. I mean, I just act like an idiot on stage. I tell some jokes. Some of them are pretty well thought out, but some of it's juggling and just props and magic. But the thing is that generally speaking, when I do a comedy show, it's for education purposes. Okay. Whether it's a corporate event or a school or a church who's hiring me, I tend to be educating at the same time. And so I try to make it as fun as possible. So if there's a serious topic, and sometimes it's very serious, then I just do something goofy.
A quick one for me?
A quick joke for you?
Yeah.
No, I don't have any quick jokes. All my jokes are long form. Most of my jokes are about architecture.
Let's just say he's thinking about it. Maybe at the end of the show he would have made up his mind.
The thing is, I'm lazy.
Okay.
I'm so lazy. In fact, okay, like some people are lazy. I'm lazier than anyone else you know. I should probably write more jokes, honestly. Well, for instance, like, okay, so it's your friend's birthday, right? Like the laziest thing you can do on your friend's birthday. No card. No present, no phone call. You just write happy birthday on your friend's Facebook wall. That's lazy.
That's lazy.
I'm lazier than that. I don't even write happy birthday on my friend's Facebook wall. I wait till someone else writes happy birthday and then I just click like. Yeah, seriously? That's it. That's all I do.
That's really funny.
It's like I love you, man, but I'm not going to get my fingers involved.
No,
just one click. That's it.
And just like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really funny. All right, so I know you're also a hobbyist knife thrower. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I can. So my dad and I throw knives because, my dad, I love him, I respect him. He's old. Yeah. He's 80 years old. And so the thing about men, I don't know if you know this, but when we retire from work, our brains just go to mush.
You don't really retire.
Yeah, well, if we do, it's problems. We deteriorate. So when my dad retired, I thought, hey, he should have an activity. Yeah. So as being the youngest son, I bought him a video and a book and a bunch of knives and said, Dad, you should try knife throwing.
A bunch of knives?
Yeah, as sons do. And he loved it. He got very good. Okay. It's so good, he was going to tournaments and like championships. But he was going by himself. And I'm like, Dad, I'd like to hang out with you. Why don't you teach me how to throw knives? And so he showed me, and I got good. I got okay at it too. And so we would start to go to tournaments together around the United States and throw knives at targets, which was a bunch of weird guys named like Catfish, or guys. They all have nicknames and everything. Mountain men.
So what's your nickname?
My nickname? I don't think they ever. I don't think they ever settled on Odiambo. Joroge. Yeah. Kamau. That's what I am. Yeah.
No, when you're knife throwing.
When I was knife throwing, stickman.
Stickman. Why?
First of all, it's an insult. Like I'm a stick. I'm very thin, and also I stick the target.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
You can hit the bullseye.
I could hit the bullseye.
Pretty much.
In fact, in 2010, I won the world championship in the long distance knife throwing division. Yeah.
What was the feeling for you?
It was terrible. Dad and I both had swine flu. It's like the pig version of bird flu. Yeah. But the good thing is we were so sick. I mean, we were using the restroom, just dehydrated. It was terrible. But we were so sick that we didn't care about the competition. Oh, well. But that's one of the best things for a performer or someone who's trying to hit a bullseye. Is you got to clear your mind. Yeah. You can't be nervous. We weren't nervous. We didn't care. And so we did really, really well. Both of us did.
But you were sick.
Yeah, I was sick.
You got to win the championship.
In that one category, it was totally luck.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not better than anybody else. But I beat the French and the Russians. I'm proud of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really good. So tell me about your anti-bullying campaign focus that you do.
Yeah, so as a career, I always have topics. There's always some sort of reason for doing a show. It is very funny. But one of the big things that's happening around the world is there's an awareness of how people treat one another. And bullies can be a problem, and there's ways to deal with that. So I wrote a show as a juggler and magician where I could teach large groups of kids all at once how to be nice to each other, and what to identify. What is bullying, and what is just friends being friends, and sort of making kids think, and then make decisions based on that. So the shows,
So, were you ever a victim of bullying growing up?
Sort of, not really, because people kind of liked me. I was always kind of likable.
Yeah.
But when you're tall and thin, no one has any trouble just pointing that out every time they see you. Like, you're skinny. Ew, oh boy, you are awfully thin. And it's like, if I was a fat guy, I don't think anybody would be saying that. Like, hey, fatso, they wouldn't do that. But to a skinny guy, they always comment. And in Kenya, of course, people comment quite a bit. Oh, you've added weight, or you've added meat, or
really?
you're looking chubby. These are things we don't say in America.
Like, the more flesh you have, I think it's a mark of some accomplishment. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it's very different. But regardless, people always made comments, so I was very self-conscious as a result of that bullying. But no one was really treating me mean. I don't think.
Okay. All right. So as you perform around the world, what would you say has been your most, like, the highlights of your career?
There's various highlights. One was getting my own show at the world-famous Improv Comedy Nightclub.
Nice.
And that show still continues on Sundays. There's a matinee show for families. So it's a nightclub where they have a family show. I helped start that. Okay. That's accomplishment. I did a show for like 8,000 people in Bogota, Colombia one time, juggling fire. That was kind of cool. But honestly, the best thing is these guys. It's these puppeteers. Like, now I don't perform. I direct and I produce. Okay. And watching like a huge group of like 500, upper primary or lower secondary students watching a show about HIV and AIDS and seeing them being engaged and learning and nodding their heads, even though we're talking about, family members passing away or the struggles or stigma, and everyone's engaged. Like, that's the best. There's nothing better than watching that happen.
Okay, that's really nice. So I know you also participated in the TEDx talk.
Yeah.
How was that?
That experience is always really nice. The TED Talks have always been inspiring to everybody, and so the regional, the TEDx ones, I've been invited to do 3 of them. And
3?
Yeah, there was actually 3, and each time, it's great. It's a really cool experience because
it's a great accomplishment. Because not everybody gets to really be.
Yeah, well, not everybody has puppets. It's when you bring out a puppet, they're like, oh wow, this we have to watch this. Yeah, honestly, yeah. If you want a good gig, just. It holds people's attention. It's sort of magical.
Yeah, like what we just watched a while ago is really, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and we're grown adults, and it's like, hey, they're talking.
About a banana, it's really funny.
About a banana, sure.
Okay, so what were you talking about in the TEDx?
Yeah, I did one about building a disaster relief housing. Because I was interested. I had a mentor who I loved dearly who passed away, and that was his last project on his mind was that, so I was pursuing that, and that got some interest. But then I was asked to come be the coda, the sort of ending to an educational TEDx thing. It was about education. And so I did one about using puppetry for education, and then a follow-up one about that as well.
Okay. So do you think you found your purpose in life?
Yeah, I think you would... Yeah, because I don't know if I find it so much as you just decide. Like, you can sort of decide your purpose, I think. Some people find it, and I think I methodically came to a conclusion.
That you have?
Yeah.
What would that be?
It's to, in Rotary, like I said before, the Rotary clubs, all of us are professionals in our field, usually doing well, who decide to put service above self. And we do that by finding our own gifts. And my own gift, I know, is teaching puppetry. And so to come to Kenya, to find like-minded performers who are very talented, but needed some guidance or wanted to learn more, to find my place and say, hey, yeah, we can do this. My purpose is to help teach people to take these messages about health and education out to the masses, and it just happens to be using puppets. It started when I was 12, now I'm 39, and I'm still doing it. Yeah, that's a purpose. Sure.
I agree. And so far, what has life taught you?
That I'm an idiot. Honestly, there's like every day, like I think I know something, and the next day I was like, oh, I was totally wrong. I spoke with authority. I stood on stage and I said, this is how life is, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
So every day I'm just learning how much dumber I actually am than I thought I was the day before, which is good, because we all should be learning, right?
Yeah,
And so
life is a learning.
sometimes you learn new things. Sometimes you learn that what you thought you used to know was totally wrong.
And that's why we should always have an open mind.
I would hope so. It's frustrating sometimes. Maybe I'm too hard on myself, but yeah, I've learned that I'm an idiot.
Okay. So tell me about the Project Hand Up. Yeah.
So Project Hand Up is the manifestation of this purpose, and it was, you can kind of chicken and egg this, but it was a project with Rotary, the Rotary Foundation, to do this, but it was also a nonprofit, a 501c3 in Texas, USA, in order to specifically do this, to take and use puppetry as an art form to educate about the really tough subjects in sub-Saharan Africa. That was the idea, and to use it especially for HIV and AIDS education. But we also branched out to child safety. We recently did a show with the crew about what to do when you get lost, so we could perform at shopping malls and places around Kenya to teach the kids, what to do. And then we've also branched out to doing one about fire safety and fire education, because that's also a great tool for communicating that as well.
Of course. Yeah. All right. So what would you say has impacted you most in your career, and why?
What has impacted me most and why? It's so philosophical. I just want to talk about puppets and comedy. Yeah. What has impacted me the most? It's really people. I mean, there's individuals that come into your life who mean a lot to you. And I had a mentor in Cambodia. His name was Mickey Sampson. He was a scientist and a missionary, and he did water purification. But he was really creative, and he used puppets to teach about germ theory. And that was a huge impact in my life. And now I live at Nani's Kitengela Glass out there beyond Nazarene University in Rangai. And Eric Cristal, her husband, Dr. Eric Cristal, is a huge inspiration. It's these different men and women who've come into my life that have made the biggest impact by far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd like to say it was like an earthquake or something, but it's definitely people.
Okay. So what are some of your qualities or traits that
I don't want to talk about me.
you would say matters? Because, using puppetry and all these things you do, I think you use a lot of yourself. You have to reach within for you to be able to reach out to other people, I believe. Or maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, so what are some of the qualities, your qualities, that you think help you in your day-to-day career?
I think the quality that helps the most is curiosity.
Okay.
Like I want to learn things, and I go out and learn them. And the other quality, I mean, we're artists here in the puppetry thing, so I guess I'm emotional, which can be good because it can be passion, but it can also mean that that can be bad too sometimes. I get angry sometimes. I get sad. I get really sad, like things don't work out, or someone's upset at me. Yeah. It didn't work out quite right, or that just brings me down. But it's also such a positive thing because I really do care about this, and so that comes out as well. So if the good quality is emotional, bad quality would be that I need direction and stability. I don't know. Okay. I don't really want to answer this question.
Is there anything you regret so far?
Anything I regret? Yeah, I mean, there's regrets. There's times when I said things I shouldn't have said. Okay. There was a time recently where I was so enthusiastic that people thought I was fake. It's just like, this guy can't possibly mean this. What's his angle? He must be out for himself. And I'm like, no, I actually really just care about this. I just talk too much.
Okay, so what was that about? Do you mind to share?
There was, how can I tactfully say this? Nairobi is a place where I find there's a lot of people who are working any angle they can to get anything they can out of you. They call it Nai-robbery. Some people might use a gun. Some people might use their wits. Some people just use selfish ambition.
So you've had that experience?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I've been to Central Police Station.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of course. Because the police,
what happened?
Well, they're not on my side, the police. Okay. Just traffic stuff.
So are you on the wrong?
It's hard to say. Sometimes I was in the wrong. Sometimes I was victimized.
So this particular time you were not on the wrong.
I think I might have made an illegal U-turn.
Okay.
It's possible.
It's possible.
But I certainly wasn't the only one, and I think there might have been a donkey in the road also making that U-turn. So the ethics of whether or not this was a traffic violation or a livestock violation,
So
I don't know.
Did you spend a night at the service?
I did not spend a night.
Oh,
No,
thank God.
no, I didn't. But anyway, because of that, there's a lot of healthy skepticism here as well. And I think I came in going, yeah, this sounds great. I'm going to do this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
And people who are in a position to say yes or no were like, that can't be real. He has an angle. And so that was hard. That was difficult because I really am a genuine guy.
Yeah.
I'm not out to make a buck.
Okay. Okay. So far, how has been your experience in Kenya, apart from the Nairobi part?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, I love Kenya. But the thing is, you can't answer that question. It's such a wide place. You know, Americans...
How do you find the people and the food?
It's all different. It depends on what neighborhood you're in. I mean, some people in some neighborhoods are total jerks.
Do you have a favorite
Some
Kenyan
people are super really nice everywhere you go.
Do you have a favorite Kenyan dish?
Oh, yeah, sure.
What, ugali?
A friend of mine, my roommate Carlos, we have invented the best way to make mbuzi choma.
Oh, okay.
It's a secret. I'm not going to tell anybody how it's done, but
Okay.
we accidentally invented it
Okay.
in my backyard.
Accidentally.
Yeah, we were barbecuing and
Yeah.
and some amazing flavor came out. And
Okay.
yeah, I like mbuzi choma. I like the kachumbari. I ate sukuma wiki, ugali. This is all good food.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, these are all good things.
That's really nice. So finally, as your parting shot, what would be your word for young people out there who don't know if puppeteering could be something they could do? How would you encourage them? Because for you, it is an accidental.
I can tell you exactly how it encouraged them.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was accidental, sort of, but I also had training. When I was 13 years old, we then went to a training workshop.
Okay.
I'm replicating that now. In fact, April 1st and 2nd, I believe that's Saturday and Sunday, we're actually going to hold a training seminar here in Nairobi where anybody can come. It doesn't matter what age they are, and they will definitely get 16 hours of hands-on specific training.
So are there payments, or what is?
Yeah, it's going to be 500 baht, but we're subsidized by the Rotary Foundation, so they keep the costs low, so everyone can come. And you'll learn how to do puppets just like this. You'll learn how to develop object lessons. You'll learn to do juggling, two puppetry, two puppets at one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where would be?
Where I think we'll probably hold it at Africa Digital Media Institute, ADMI. It's Caxton House in the CBD.
Okay.
Well, it's not exactly confirmed yet, but definitely that weekend we'll be doing it somewhere in Nairobi.
Do you have a website or a place they could?
Yeah. So in Facebook we have, if you search puppetry training workshops in Kenya, that works. It's facebook.com/edutainment Kenya. You can also look us up as Project Hand Up. That is one way to find us. ProjectHandUp.org will bring you to all those places. Also, the Kenya Institute of Puppetry Theater has information. That's KIPTKenya.org. But mostly, look up puppetry training workshops in Kenya, and that's where you can find all the information about the training that we're doing through Project Hand Up and through the Rotary Club of Nairobi and the Rotary Club of DeSoto, Texas.
All right. Darren Collins, it was really nice having you on the show today.
My pleasure. Thanks, Miriam.
Thank you for coming. The Project Hand Up Puppeteers are going to give us another performance.
Yeah, they're going to finish off with the conflict between the boy and the girl, and the boy trying to get that banana.
All right,
We'll find out the lessons they learn here.
Of course. All right. And when you find your purpose in life, you get more fulfilled. And until next time, this has been The Point. I am Miriam Ogutu. It's bye-bye from me.
What? You think I'm beautiful?
Sindio, wewe ni mrembo. Na sasa juu nimekushow hivyo, sinipatia banana.
See, no, sikupati just like that.
Hapana? Hapana? Don't you understand? I am a boy and you are only a girl. Lazima udo kitu mimi nakwambia.
No, I don't. Boys are not better than girls. Males are not better than females. You are not better than I, period. Full stop.
I'm two.
Are not.
I'm two.
Are not.
I'm two.
Are not.
I'm two.
Are not.
How long do you want us to keep doing this?
Just a few more, I'll have to watch it. Are not.
I'm two.
Are not.
I'm two.
Are not.
I'm two.
Are not.
Whoa, whoa. Wait. What's going on here?
Okay, iko hivi. Yuna and a banana.
Yes, she does. Help me understand. How is that a problem?
Maybe hujasikia poa. Akona banana.
I must be missing something here.
Let me update you. Bali is acting like he is more important than I am just because he's a boy.
Well, yeah. Now you're getting it. I am a boy.
Sawa, you're a boy, but you only think you're more important. But I think you're not. And what I think is as important as what you think because we're both smart.
Nah, you're not smart.
I am.
Are not.
I'm too.
Are not.
I'm too.
Are not.
I'm too.
Are not.
I'm too.
How much longer do you two want to keep doing this?
Just a few more.
alafu tuache.
Are not.
Are too.
Are not.
Are too.
Are not.
Are too.
Are not.
All right,
Are not.
okay. I think I see the problem here.
Yes, the problem is bado akona banana.
It's my banana.
Okay. Sawa. What we are lacking here is a little bit of respect.
Na think uko right, Adila.
You do?
Yes. You na hani respect kama mwanaume.
At least you're right about that.
I know I'm right about that. Hey. Ngoja kidogo. What?
You know what? Yuna, you should respect Bali. He is a male and males are very important.
What? But Adila...
Think about lions. The male lions protect the females and their young ones. They are fierce and strong and greatly respected.
Si umecheki Yuna? I told you, girls have to respect boys.
But Bali, don't misunderstand. Girls are equal to boys and important too.
What? Equal? Equal ndio nini?
Equal.
At least. Probably better.
No, I said equal. And I mean equal. With lions, the females hunt food for their pride and care for the young. They are also fierce and strong and greatly respected.
Ndio, lakini ukiangalia
Everyone is important. And we should always treat each other with respect.
But
There are no buts, Bali. Yuna, you should respect Bali. Not because he's a boy, but because he is a person.
Poa basi. Respect me na unipe hiyo banana.
And Bali, respect does not mean obey.
Najua, mimi najua humaanisha hivyo.
No, it doesn't. Yuna can say no if you demand something from her that she doesn't want to give you.
I told you, Bali, girls can say no to boys.
Yes, girls can say no. So, if you ask Yuna to give you her banana and she tells you no, then you should respect that.
Oh, ni cha hivyo?
It's my banana.
If you ask her nicely, maybe she will share it with you. But you cannot just make her give it to you.
Okay. Yuna, would you please give me some of your banana?
That was very polite, Bali.
So, will you give me?
No.
Huh? Adila!
No means no, Bali. And that goes for more than just bananas too.
What do you mean?
Well, for example, if Bali wanted to touch you or kiss you...
Ew!
I know, it sounds awful today.
Yeah.
But tomorrow...
Tomorrow is still gonna be gross.
Okay, but someday. Anyway, if Bali wanted to touch you or kiss you, you could say no. And Bali must stop trying. A boy cannot touch or kiss a girl just because he wants to. He must respect her, and if she says no, he must stop immediately.
He must?
He must? He, hiyo ni kali.
He must. That is respect. And everyone deserves respect.